Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading here on the Astroflower, going from the 28th through to the 4th of June. Welcome. I hope you have a lovely reading, Sagittarius. You've got a good monthly reading which is coming out on Tuesday. I tried to get them out this week, had complications loading up, but you've got a really good one coming out this June. A blistering month for you. Let's see what's going on in this first week. So Hangman, starting to see things differently. This ties into that monthly reading as well. Seeing things differently. The overall energies here is, I wouldn't say throwing you curveballs, but you know you've got to be flexible this week here in order to see things a little bit differently. Whew. On your karmic message here on your relationship side, and this is where it does also come into the monthly reading as well, a painful situation that needs to be dealt with in regards to your relationships around you. There's something that needs to be sorted, I think. It almost comes across as almost like something that you need to do within you, because this is not necessarily a painful situation that is outside of you, although it is obviously connected to the relationships. It's to do with you because it's on your karmic mission. And maybe it's a case of you having to let go of any sort of painful situations in order for new growth, new love to start. You know, that's a very sort of possibility. The universe is bringing you healing. So this is a very progressional sort of thing. The universe is, so you've got the Three of Swords here is obviously, and it's raining as well. So it's like, it's flushing, it's flushing. It's washing away those painful sort of situations in your karmic message. And that's what you've got to deal with inside you. The universe here is providing you recuperation, sort of healing, sort of rest from the situation. And it's like a blessing in disguise. And maybe, seeing the end of a situation or end of a painful situation that is in the past is now the universe is sort of saying, and now it's time to heal. Now it's time to, it's like ploughing a field. It's like disastrous for anything that's living on the surface of that field. It's painful, but now it's the time to plant new seeds. That's the sort of thing. It's like a real blessing in disguise for you, a really good thing. Yeah, and your guides here are sort of trying to sort of explain to you, or trying to sort of influence your karmic message to sort of saying, if you deal with this, you have an opportunity, and this ties into your monthly reading, seeing things differently from the tree of knowledge. That's where he's hanging from, the tree of knowledge, and he has the sun up there. It's a real conscious moment for you. And these guides here are trying to sort of say, don't be just that person stuck perpetually on that wheel and not changing. This is a time now to be in the center of the wheel and to sort of say, okay, this opportunity is arriving for me and it's time to change my fortune. And that's what the Wheel of Fortunes, is about. It's helping you within your relationship to turn a negative into a positive, basically. And I think that's what needs to happen for you, and it needs to happen from within you this week. And then move on to Sue, and this is your future self. And your future self gets this Knight of Pentacles. I have got dirty hands. I've just noticed that. I have got dirty hands because I'm making a meditation garden where I am at the moment. I'll do a video on that next week. Absolutely brilliant. It's all to do with energy. A meditation herb garden. It's absolutely brilliant. But he is actually, see in the background, he has his field here that is not planted up because he has the seed in his hand, the Ace of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles. It's been given to him by the Page of Pentacles. He knows the situation, and now it's a time to seize on this wheel of fortune, this change in opportunity, and you need to seize upon it and start planting seeds for a brighter future. And the universe is encouraging you to do this with that Four of Swords. It's a time of healing for you, and time of healing is almost like a time of planting. and planting new seeds for beautiful relationships in the future, and just letting go of any difficulty that you might have had within relationships that are around you. Blimey, you karmically this week, you have a lot to deal with. I've got to say, I think you're really highly supported, certainly very supported on your relationship side, but on your financial sort of side, it's karmic message of sort of like repetitive things. So let's just say like you're running a business, or you've got your career and you've got your career path, and you seem to be constantly making the same mistakes, or you're constantly running up against a situation where you're not making a sale because of X, Y, and Z. I think this this is beautiful for the hangman, seeing things in a different way, and you need to wake up from this perpetual circle that's not really being benefited to you, to see things and doing, isn't the definition of madness of doing the same action and expecting a different outcome? Isn't that what it's a little bit like that, a little bit of stress and strains. You can actually move past this stress and strains if you just approach it in a different way. And this is to do with any sort of career plans you have, or business, or anything like that, basically. Let's just see how the universe is influencing you here. I think this is right. Six of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. You need to... The fair exchange, where's the fair exchange starts? It starts with you. If you're not getting... I used to run an organic fruit and veg business. Fruit and vegetables, where I used to do import and export. So I used to basically go to farmers and say, help them with their planting program, and so then I put them in touch with, wholesalers, people buying their produce. So then, growers from different countries are not sort of dumping their produce on the other grower, if you know what I mean. So it makes it better for all growers to make a much more stable and continual income. And one of the mantras that I kept repeating whilst doing this business to everybody, because everybody knew the price. So the person purchasing knew the price I was paying the farmers. The farmers knew the price I was charging the customer, and the customer knew the cost of transport, and the farmer knew the transport of the transport. Everybody knew the situation, and they knew exactly how much I was taking as well. But everybody, if it has to work for everybody, and first things first, it has to work for yourself. If it doesn't work for everybody, it's just not going to work long term. Eventually, something's going to break. And I think this is a possibility where you need to learn this, or you need to apply this within your job or your business or something like that, where you have to take on that mantra that's sort of saying it has to work for everybody, and primarily at the beginning, me. If it doesn't work for me at the beginning, it's never going to work for everybody, because I'm going to be the one that's going to break. And I think there's a difficult choice that you need to make according to your business, basically. Where it's, the fair exchange needs to happen, and you need to invest in things that are worthwhile investing in. You get the Ten of Pentacles, abundance. I think this is to do with how your guides are influencing this karmic message, this Nine of Swords. So this Nine of Swords, this repetitive thing, can be broken very easily by realizing the abundance of the possibilities you have within your life, and the financial possibilities. Once you start feeding yourself and you have abundance, therefore you can then invest in other things. So it's not just a case of getting loads of money in order to buy a new Ferrari. I think it's more of a case of getting more money so you can actually do more things. I think that's what it's all about. And seeing things in a different way in order to do that. Maybe a case of diverting some of your finances to another aspect of your life in order to get that side of your life really sure and solid, and that's what it's, that comes from your past sort of self, and that's how your past is sort of like trying to influence you, that something needs to change. If you want this abundance, something needs to evolve out of this. Okay, that's the future self for you. I think it's going to spark a lot of ideas, because you're seeing it in a different way of, a different way. Soup is soup, and everybody has their own way of making soup, and you have your way of making soup, and everybody can also evolve and learn different ways of making soup. And it may be a case of just sort of taking an example of how somebody like a competitor does their business. Maybe one aspect of their business is really, really working, and it's sort of something that it'd be good to sort of you to adopt in your business or within your career path. Understanding and being getting the messages of what's going on in your company in order for you to actually progress on your career path. It's also about communication and information coming through. I think personally, these 8 of Wands that are just coming through to you, it's a little bit like Buddha sitting under the tree and those arrows that are coming towards him, and through his meditation he can change those arrows into lotus flowers. And I think this is what this is getting that information coming through, the communication as well, which is really key here. Seeing things differently so you can really galvanize your passions so it can create something completely new and give you that new direction within your life, and stop you in this repetitive thing that seems to be happening on both sides of your life at the moment. The overall outcome, you get the Devil. The Devil is, yes, it could be about someone being a little bit obsessive and stuff like that towards you. The Devil is tempting you with sort of like with fruit. If you take that fruit, the fruit is on this side. If you take that fruit, I'll burn you on the other, if it were, that sort of thing. But the Devil is also a light bearer. He brings light to the situation so you can see every possible angle, and seeing every possible angle then can make you obsessive about this new longer term plan, this new Knight of Pentacles, these new seeds that you're going to plant in your life for your relationships, all these new messages that are coming through to you in order for you to see the situation very clearly. And all of a sudden, I think it's being obsessive about getting things right and moving on. I think it's going to really help you out. No fold, no end, basically. With the Hangman, you get the 5 of Cups. Seeing disappointment in a different way. You could look at it as sort of saying, oh God, that's disappointing. Or you could look at it and sort of say, oh yeah, that is really disappointing, and I'd probably be best to do something completely different. She's got like one of those cups in the background. Says these cups here are spent and wasted. 3 of them. And that is connections with other people, very sociable and everything like that. But actually, she's still got that Ace of Cups in her hand, and she's still got the other cup that she can combine it with, which is by her foot, that she's got the control over it. And when she realizes that, then all of a sudden, if she turns around, she'll see that there's actually a clear path for her to go. And it is seeing things in the differently. She can't see that path behind her, but the Hangman can. And this is why, they're sort of saying, don't focus on the disappointment. Focus on what the opportunities that the disappointment has opened up for you. With the 3 of Swords, it's how you reconnect with your passions for love. That's what it seems like. Playing with your passions for love in order to plant that new seeds in your life. With the 4 of Swords, you get the 7 of Swords. So the 7 of Swords is playing smart. And I think this is where you've got to sometimes just not get involved in situations to give yourself a bit of a respite in situations that may be painful, which will then free you up and give you a lot more space and allow you to seize on that opportunity, which is that Wheel of Fortune. And that is playing smart, knowing when not to bite in a situation. And then you get the 6 of Swords. So look at this, you had the 3 of Swords here, then the 4 of Swords. Now you go from the 7 to the 6. from a playing smart scenario you get with this Wheel of Fortune. It's a fortunate situation within, it could be a fortunate chance meeting with someone, which allows you go from one side to the other to calmer waters. And it's the guides and the general energy which is guiding to you towards that way. Everything seems to want the best for you. You should know that, Sagittarius. Everything around you, energy, guides, the universe, everything wants the best for you. With the Knight of Pentacles, you get the Star card. So I think planting those seeds for your ultimate relationships. When you plant that seed, you almost kind of going, it's like as if I was planting, let's say, like tulips or geraniums or something like that. As I plant that seed within my mind's eye, I'm creating the most perfect example of a geranium or a tulip or whatever, or even like a courgette. Is I'm planting that seed. That's what's the intention that you need to give it within your relationships. As you do actions within your relationships, as you do things within your relationships, behind that action must be a real clear vision of what you want. On your material side, you get the Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords. So this is really good. You're getting very good progressional stuff here. You get the 9 going to the 8. And it's sort of saying if you want to come out of this perpetual circle, you need to get on and do things for you. Stop being stuck in it. And it's only you who can do this, Sagittarius. It's only you who can do this. And you have this capacity to do that, to take a good hard look at the situation and sort of realise what part of it is, not working for you, being realistic with your situation, being frankly honest with yourself, I think is really important. And that's where that fair exchange comes into play, making sure you are okay. If not everybody's making out the situation, then it will fall apart. With the 6 of Pentacles, you get the 4 of Cups. This has to do with past disappointments, past opportunities missed. It's very similar to the 5 of Cups, which you had here, because that's where those 3 of Cups is spent. And you're filling up this Ace of Cups. And it is you. It's filling up you, realising that, yeah, you may have missed some opportunities in the past within your career path, but now it's a time of regrouping yourself and regrouping your joy and your happiness to do whatever you've got to do. With the 10 of Pentacles, you do get the Ace of, which I said earlier on, the Ace of Swords. Realising this abundance is going to spark a lot of notions, a lot of possibilities within you. This is this reflection of yourself that is coming through, and all of a sudden it's going to give you a clear vision of how you can physically go ahead and do things. It's going to make you feel like you're winning out of life, and then realise that you do have a huge amount of abundance within you and possibilities. With the 8 of Wands, you get the 3 of Swords. It's very possible here, just looking at it, it's very possible that you might be disappointed in life because you've tied your business into your love life. It's very possible for some of you, not for everybody. But I think here, with the 8 of Wands, and it's like turning a negative into a positive, and this is the messages you're getting here. And it's recognizing the things that are, you're going to get messages from your future self about what things are being detrimental within your career path or your business or your projects, what things are being detrimental to you. And this is where you get the messages in order to convert them into something, convert a bad into a good, a negative into a positive. That's part and parcel of what a real learning curve this week for you, Sagittarius, on both fronts, on every front. And this is going to set you up so good for your month of June, joyous June. And yeah, so it's setting you up. It's a real, making a real position within you. The devil brings in the Wheel of Fortunes. I think this is opportunities that are coming into your life. I think both on your relationship side, but also on your financial side, you have a huge amounts of possibilities that are coming into your life that you can seize upon. Seeing things differently and not getting done in by the disappointment of life, because life can be disappointing from time to time. Everybody goes through it. But realizing the things that are causing you pain and making you make that repetitive thing within your financial sort of world is going to then, once you realize it, you can stop it, and therefore you can stop the Wheel of Fortune at a moment which is fortuitous for you. And this is where the devil is sort of saying, it's now time to choose. Oh, it's now time to take your evident path. On your relationship side here, it's getting free from a situation. This is the Wheel of Fortune, because you've got the Wheel of Fortune now twice, and you've got the Six of Swords with the first Wheel of Fortune, which is a sort of passage from one side to the other to change your fortunes towards that sort of star and that Knight of Pentacles, where you can start working on the longer term plan and planting the seeds of a beautiful relationships in the future, and letting go of any painful things that have been in your life in the past. And it might be something that happened a long time ago as well. It's just something you may be carrying with you, you know. So there you go. Thank you very much for being with us, Sagittarius. I think it's a really good week for you. I really do. It just needs for you to be a little bit frank with yourself rather than Dave. Be a little bit frank with yourself and a bit honest with yourself, I think, more than anything else. And you'll see things in a completely different way. And it's going to be, by the end of the week, you'll be just kind of going, wow, I have an amazing possible future in front of me. And it's going to be great for you. So there you go, Sagittarius. I'll speak to you soon. Don't forget, you've got your monthly readings coming out on Tuesday. Yes, I will see you over there for that. You have your collective reading as well, which came out, which is amazing. Yes, I hope you got the best out of this reading. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.